Hello, and good evening to all of you. I guess I should say how they taught me to say it when I was in Cuba. Buenas, to all of you. Let me say, just real quickly, this is Sister Brenda Wright, who's here with me. I am here to introduce an award recipient, but before I do that, I can't do it without just saying a little something about my experience with Luis and MEDA. A few years ago, because there were really only one black housing developer in San Francisco, nonprofit, I and some friends of mine, we started Without Walls Community Development Corporation. With nothing, we just started it because we thought it was important. And no money, no office, just us. And we started working with MEDA, got to know the people there. And right now, with MEDA's assistance as our partner, we're working on our first building. Mayor Bree, thank you, because without you, it wouldn't have happened. Someone found a building that was going to be sold to a speculator. There were 6 seniors living in the building, 5 of them African American. And they were going to lose their homes when the speculator bought it. With the mayor's help, with MEDA's help, the city's help, we were able to buy that building back from the speculator. Now, he had it for 3 months and made $1 million. But it was important to save these homes and to make them affordable forever. We are partnering with MEDA in that endeavor. And I would say as partners, they've been outstanding, but that's not really it. Working with them, they have been friends. Now, it's only 6 units, and then we put 2 more ADU units downstairs. So 8 units. And after all the units of housing that Luis was talking about, it may not seem like much to you, but it seems like the world to us because Luis pulled me aside and said, Reverend, do not get discouraged because what you see us doing 5 or 6 years ago, we were exactly where you are. And look at where they are today. And a lot of people talk about allyship, but some people really get it. And let me tell you, we're going to have to get it if we're going to survive in an increasingly racially hostile America. If we don't come together for real, we won't survive. So I just want to thank you, brother, and to all your staff. Now, to the work at hand. We are here introducing someone who really needs no introduction, who I've known for a long time since she was a very young girl, little girl. I go back even when she worked at the bank as a teller, and I used to go into the bank, watched her perform amazing work at the African American Art and Cultural Complex, which she ran for a number of years and did such amazing work. I know her through her brilliance. And if you know her, you know just how brilliant she is. But that's not the most important thing about her. The most important thing about her, and the thing that makes her who she is that she cares. She cares enough that she doesn't wake up in the morning and test how the political winds are blowing, but wakes up concerned with what people need and how she's going to get it to them. And I know that in this town where everything is so political that we somehow believe that when we disagree with each other, that gives me license to hate your kids when you disagree with me. You know, in such a sometimes difficult political world, I am so privileged and honored to not only know her as a friend, but to have her as my mayor. I'm not going to introduce her now. I'm going to introduce Brenda Wright, who will introduce her.
Good evening. One of the things I should have done, I should have gone first. Because whoever wants to go behind a pastor, you know, but anyway, good evening. This is a wonderful event. It's so great to see everybody. And it's also great to hear the work that MEDA has done. I sat on the MEDA board years ago when it was a much smaller organization. But Louise, your leadership has really taken it to a new height. And before I talk about Mayor Breed, I want to just say that I had an occasion, I just recently retired from Wells Fargo, and Louise called me up, and I'm telling you this story for a reason. Louise called me up and he said, Brenda, I was at an event where they were a meeting where they were talking about small businesses and the money that was coming out of the administration that was available to small businesses. He said, and I didn't see any African American representation. Now, mind you, I'm retired. So he said, so what are we going to do about this? I was like, we? So I said, oh, okay, Louise. So I got on the phone, called some people and who were engaged in the African American small business community. And so I said, you know, you have a friend, and this person named Luis Granados, who is heads MEDA. And I said, and he really is concerned about the voice of African American businesses not being in the room. So I said, we need to start doing something. So I started calling different people to get them engaged so that we could get the message out to the African American communities, because it's almost like you think about why we have Juneteenth. Because we have Juneteenth because slaves did not know they were free. So many of this stuff is still occurring. You know, a lot of the stuff that we think has changed, you know, the more things change, they say the more they stay the same. So I want to thank you, Luis, for caring about all of our communities. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that, and I think that's important. And it also kind of segues into my comment about Mayor Breed. Now, full disclosure, you know, I love this young woman. And I said I wouldn't get emotional, so I won't get emotional. But, you know, I've known her, you know, she was a teller at Wells Fargo. Yay, she was a teller. But when you think about how you engage with people in those situations, you have to have empathy. You have to care about the people that you're serving. You know, whether you elect them or whether you're paid, you know, they're paid to serve you. And then doing internships in Mayor Brown's office, they say that leaders I'll put it like this. There's a question, are leaders born or are they created? I believe there's an innate leadership trait in London Breed that makes her this authentic leader and makes her know and understand what people are going through and what people feel, and many times the kinds of things that they need. The leadership that she demonstrated when COVID hit our community, a lot of people wasn't happy with the decisions you make, but when you have great leaders, oftentimes people are not happy. But the leader steps up and says, this is what I believe I need to do to protect my people. And that indeed is what she did. And I am always very grateful about that because, as Louise said, in the Black and brown community, our communities were impacted more than anybody. So you need someone to have that courage. So I just want to say to you, London Breed. You know, I know it's not easy being mayor. It's something I would never do. There is not enough money in this world to pay me to be mayor. Because I also don't have the temperament to be a mayor either. Because there would be times I think I would just have to clearly speak up and tell people what I really think about them. So I'm glad that her grandmother raised her to be this wonderful, caring, and supportive young woman. So I would ask you to please give our mayor, Mayor London Nicole Breed, just a heartfelt welcome to show your appreciation for the work that she's done, because we all know that somehow she's impacted all of us. So I want to just say we applaud you, we love you, care about you, and on behalf of MEDA, we want to present you with this award.
Thank you. It is really an honor to be here today to accept this award from MEDA. You know, words matter. And I know recently my words were very hurtful to a number of people in our Latino community. And I'm not perfect. But I try to be strong for this city. And I just want you to charge that to my head for making mistakes and not my heart, for what I truly believe that I want to see happen for this city. I grew up here, and I grew up in very challenging circumstances. And in fact, one of the only reasons why I wanted to get involved in politics in the first place had everything to do with wanting someone at the table who wasn't trying to tell people that grew up like I did what they needed, but someone who actually lived in it and understood it and had experience with the challenges of living in it and had no other choice but to live in it. You know, being mayor is just incredible, and it's something I never thought in my life that I'd ever be, but it's an incredible honor. And I do feel the weight of the people of this city on my hands. I felt the weight of this community in particular on my shoulders during the pandemic, when initially we thought we were doing what we were supposed to do, and I discovered from people who were a part of this community, who run a lot of the great organizations, including MEDA, who provide the services, who said, Mayor, no, you're not. You're not doing what we need, and here are the problems. I remember that phone call. I remember when we met on Zoom, and I remember this was on a video screen, but I could feel the emotion coming out of the screen because people in this community were upset that we weren't doing what we were supposed to do to deliver for the Latino community at the beginning of this pandemic. And as a result, we came together. We came together and we made a significant investment We made a significant investment because of the need, and we did that because of what the community said they needed. This is why I do this work, is having the ability, when there are challenges, to make the decisions that are going to change things for the better. And of course, I'm not in this alone, because so many of you, especially MEDA, rolled up their sleeves, weren't able to collect rent from people, weren't able to always provide food and support, and could barely hold on to staff because resources were limited, but still came to the table. And after a few months, we started to see things turn around. When those vouchers went out for rent relief, when that support went out for the food that folks needed, when we start finally delivering for this community, we saw change. And I am so proud of the work that we did together, of the work that we did to make a difference. But I also know that even though the pandemic is somewhat behind us, there continues to be challenges. There continues to be need for more housing. And we have worked together to purchase properties, including what was formerly known as the Monster on the Mission, to purchase that property, to make sure that many of the properties that were slated for a different kind of development is something that we can come together on to make the investments to provide the housing necessary, and with neighborhood preference to make sure that the people who live in this community have right of first refusal when those units are built in their community. So I want to thank you for this award. And it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because the relationship that we have developed, that MEDA and I have developed, is a genuine one. It is a one of mutual respect. It is a one of understanding. And it is one that no matter who is the mayor of San Francisco, it is one that has to be maintained with the leadership of the city because of the people that they serve. This is not about me. This is about the people of this city that we all need to come together and to try and uplift. I do this work because so many of the people that I grew up with aren't even here anymore. They're not here because their lives have been lost for different reasons. And I just think, what if? What if we had a MEDA in every neighborhood? What if we could get that housing built faster? What if we provided those opportunities? What if we stopped letting petty politics divide us and we came together and worked in the best interest of the people that we know we are here to serve? What if we can make so much happen? This award means a lot to me. And I know it will take time to heal wounds. And my hope is that we'll get there, that you'll see from the work that I do with all of you that I truly believe in this work, that I truly believe in what MEDA is doing, and to also express my appreciation for being an organization that's not just focused on the Latino community, but building that bridge with the African American community. Luis is truly showing what it means to be partners and how we are stronger when we come together, how we are stronger when we work together. So I'm looking forward to the work I'm looking forward to the groundbreakings and the ribbon cuttings from all the housing that we're going to build, especially in the Mission Together. I'm looking forward to seeing progress, to seeing those babies now that are in those preschools become the folks working for the organization MEDA, but also becoming mayor and members of the Board of Supervisors. I'm looking forward to the future of what we are going to do together so that when the next generation looks back and wonders, what did we do to make things better for them? What did we do to make things better for them? They could be proud. And they can see that we came together. And they can also build a legacy for the next generation. I know we have work to do, and I know this city is a challenge. But each and every one of us in this room, we know that it's a challenge that we are all up for, and it's a city worth fighting for. So I hope we can continue to work together. I hope we can continue to deliver for the community. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this extraordinary honor, because it truly means a lot to me. Thank you so much.